Welcome, everybody, to the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And, folks, as always,
it's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
We used to read Blood Horse magazine. I am
Cuban B.
I'm your host, Chase Sessoms, the Wolf of Oaklawn.
I'd rather be trapped than lazy. Don't care what they say, I'ma do what pays me.
It happens every year about this time. Weaklings act like they lost their mind. Alphas reclaim the neighborhood. Rob the sheep and all the wolves get good.
Yes. Welcome to the show. Joining me, as always, you might know him as the Michelangelo of the Crying Michael Jordan. He's your favorite capper's favorite capper, ladies and gentlemen. He's Barry the Sniper Spears.
You know how we do. Rockefeller. Forever. You catch me skating through your town, putting it down. Y'all relating, no waiting. I'll make your block infrared hot. I'm like Satan.
Barry, what's good?
Not much, man. What's going on? How was your weekend?
It was. I had an excellent weekend. I had a very, very good weekend. And fortunately too, so did members of Junior Mafia.
Yes,
also had a great weekend. Let's get we had some ugly last week. Let's get the ugly.
Not really.
Not really. We had a streak going where you or I had cashed a ticket, at least one ticket every single week. That streak was broken. However,
that's like since October. You gotta put that context in there.
That's fair. That's completely fair. It was a good streak. We're like Joe DiMaggio right now with
like
the
6
hitting
months.
Now we get a little streak with an asterisk, which is our friend of the show, Andrew Champagne.
Zing.
He turned a profit our $100 budget show. So if you tailed him, you got your profit early and you're able to relax. And you know what? I had someone who messaged me and said they did exactly that. So congratulations to those in Junior Mafia who tailed. Shout out Vanderbeatty. Happy Monday to you as well. Why no pick fours on the big show? Because we pride ourselves on being different. Everybody does pick fours, and I feel like you get more out of it as a handicapper when you see how we structure our plays, how we choose what we play, and why we play it. So your boy went ham at Oaklawn this Saturday. I had a gentleman hit me up on Twitter, and he said he was going to Oaklawn. Could I put together a tip sheet for him? And I don't really do tip sheets anymore. I used to. But he called me the GOAT. I corrected him. There is one GOAT, and his name is Jerry McFadden. But the easiest way to get me to do things is to say nice things about me or to give me free stuff. And he said nice things about me, so I put it together. Barry, I had 7 on top winners. A lot of the structured bets I gave hit them. A group of 5 walked out with $4,500, and I tweeted a $570 fucking pick 3.
I mean, that's a great weekend.
Yeah, dude.
For everybody wins. That's what
my wife and I were celebrating our 10th anniversary on Saturday, and she really wishes I would have shut the fuck up about that. But it was my best day of not only wagering but handicapping as well. And I feel like you can do one at a high level a lot of the time. It's hard to do both at a high level.
Oh yeah. I mean, you need a little luck and all that other stuff too. So when it all comes together, you definitely want to take advantage as much as you can.
Yeah. It was one of those days where I watched the replays of the day before the night, and it took like 5 minutes of watching the replays, and it was like, yep, got it. This is how we're attacking it. And so I was fortunate it came together. Barry, it's Monday. What traditionally does Monday mean?
It means traditionally Mahoning Valley. Pick 3's. Yeah.
But Mahoney Valley is gone, Sharon. Mahoney Valley is done for the year. I think they move on to Thistledown eventually. We had to pick out a new place. Sounds through the hourglass, horse racing rushes forward, and we got to move like fucking gypsies to another Monday hangout. Today, it's Will Rogers Downs. That's right, Billy Rogers. We've got our best pick 3 plays for today at Will Rogers Downs on their card. That's Will Rogers Downs in Claremore, Oklahoma. the 14th of April, year of our Lord 2025. Post time for the card 2:15 Eastern, 1:15 God's time, 11:15 a.m. Pacific time on the Pacific Coast. And these are our best pick 3 sequence bets for the card. Let's get some past performances pulled up. Chair, Barry, your pick 3 starts in race 3. I'm going to let you lead it off. What were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking that I want to bet against this favorite in the third. The 4 horse, who's the morning line favorite, Lemon Meringue. This horse is a kind of a dead closer and isn't really, doesn't really have any advantages over this field, and will probably attract a lot of attention because of the fact that the trainer's batting at 22% for the meet. So I would gather that this horse is going to attract attention, but I like other horses in this spot, including the one who would be my top pick, Wicked Prince. 15-1 morning line, has a lot of speed, shown it in the past at Prairie Meadows. Had one spin over the Will Rogers Downs track and didn't fare so well. So I think people are going to think that this horse is no good, but coming in from Oaklawn in and of itself is probably an advantage alone on that alone. So we're going to use the 1 Wicked Prince, the 2 Little Randy, who's shown some speed, breaking his maiden, going at the $15,000 level at Will Rogers Downs, no less, going away, actually won by 6. Those times and everything fit well here, so we're going to use the 2 Little Randy. We're going to use the 5 Nada Yada Yada, who comes in from Remington. That might also be a built-in advantage coming to this track, who has speed also, Nada Yada Yada. And we're going to use Big Walk on the way outside, who should be pressing the pace from the outside. Another shipper from Oaklawn had 2 spins over the Will Rogers Downs track and should fare well in this race. So we're going to use the 1, 2, 5, and 7.
The 1, 2, 5, and 7. You move to race 4, 8 furlongs, $5,000 claimer. What's your play in race 4?
Another race where I thought the ultimate favorite wasn't all that great in this spot. The 3, including Ellie, may have run what might be her best race as a 9-year-old last time, and I don't think she can go back to back like that. So we're going to use 3 horses here. We're going to use the 1, Tom's Girl, who actually was at a higher level than this last time and ran pretty good. I think the class relief will get this horse into a race a little bit sooner, and that may make all the difference. Same thing with the 2 Moro Lingerie, another one dropping in kind of sharply, but fits pretty good in this spot. This horse has been running on turf, does have some decent figures as on the dirt, has also 2 wins. So we're going to use Moro Lingerie, and we're also going to use the 6 War Music, who is probably in the best form out of anybody and has run the fastest race at Remington. Fits very well here. And again, another drop in from the 7,500 level into 5,000. Should fare well in this spot as well. So we're going to use the 1, 2, and 6 here.
1, 2, and 6. You move to race 5 where you close it out. It's 5.5 furlongs. It's a $7,000 optional claimer. I thought this was a really interesting race, so I'm interested to hear where you went here.
Yeah, I used the 2 outside horses, the 6 Santa Cruiser and the 7 our Cornerstone. They seem to be on the drop and a little bit better than these. And this race seems to have a lot of speed, and I think these 2 can get the best trips out of everybody. I mean, there's a lot of ones in here, horses that just kind of need the lead types, including the favorite, who's on the rail, coincidentally, the Magic Castle. So with that being said, I think these 2 on the outside should press and kind of wear down these front runners. So we're using the 6 Santa Cruiser and the 7 our Cornerstone. And then after you make this bet, stand in line, bro. It's money.
There we go. The man said it. Real quick, I've got to pick 3 also, but we got to get a word in from our good friends. Go to SureBetCoffee.com. Help out the Sure Betties. Help out Equine Aftercare with some delicious 100% Arabica bean coffee.
It's time to fuck shit up with sherbet in your cup.
What'd you say?
Two take Tony.
To take Tony. I called it Timmy. You're right. Tony is way better. That gives it more of like a space feel. Barry, I've got a pick 3. It starts in race 3. That's right. We're in this one together, buddy.
Oh,
I was looking with you. I feel like I've got what feels like a good stretch where I can go against an odds-on favorite and stay skinny, play contrarian single, then spread out and know that whatever hits in the last leg will pay just dandy because I beat my favorites and I kept it skinny in the first 2. I didn't watch replays of Will Rogers Downs last week, but I did look at the chart. 2 things to keep an eye on. 1, on Friday, I think the number 1 horse won the first like 6 or 7 races in a row. It was what they call redonkulous. It really didn't look like anyone was capable of making up any ground at all, really. So I feel like I've got a little bit of a type that I'm looking for, and I feel like I do my best handicapping when I have that. And, I'm looking for fast early, skewed a little inside maybe, and sitting at most like a length and a half off the lead or, on the lead. So I kicked it off also in race 3. In this race, I was with you. I think that the chalk looks pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but with everything I just discussed, this is absolutely the wrong horse for the track. Lemon Meringue likes to come from way far off the pace. I didn't think this surface is going to allow it. It should be a pretty swift pace, and I'm taking the horses I like that check 2 of the 3 boxes. They're fast early, and they'll only be sitting slightly off the pace. My top pick was a horse that Barry mentioned, the 5, Nada Yada Yada at 6-1. This kind of fits the profile of a long shot a little bit. We got a 0% trainer in the awesomely named Oren Cogburn. The horse is coming off of a layoff and was moving forward each start. Now some time on the shelf, and looks like he was trained up for this start specifically. This isn't one of those horses at like a smaller track where it hasn't been out for like a year and it hasn't been worked out for like a year, and they're just going to race it into shape and hope for money. Like this looks like this horse is trained up. The only other horse I'm using is the 6, Cat County. Oaklawn fans remember Alex Berzer, trained by Bonnie Berzer. So I think we got a little hubby-wife duo here. So that's the 2 I'm using, the 5 and the 6. We move to race 4, the 8 furlongs. And Barry, this is where I get crazy with the cheese whiz because I am single.
Yes, I'm single. I want to mingle.
You want to mingle?
Yeah.
This is the spot where I want to mingle. I have a horse that's exactly the kind of horse that I want to single in my wagering. I talk a lot about it. It's simple. The horse doesn't rely on someone or a circumstance to run his race. This is the early speed. And, I'm letting this one make its race as a single. I'm singling number 4, Ruby the Destroyer at 6-1 because there's big time progress forward for this horse. Once it landed in what I assume is Daddy's barn after being trained by Sarah Davidson, now landing with Brent Davidson. Davidson hits at 22% this meet. This horse has won 4 of 9 starts at Billy Rogers, won 3 races at the distance, and I think he could run these off their feet on the lead at a price. So that's me in on a single there, the 4, Ruby the Destroyer. And then I finish it off in race 5. 5.5 furlongs, the $7,000 optional claimer. So ideally, I'm alive in race 5 after catching a little bit of a price in the 3rd, hitting my contrarian single at a pretty good price in the 2nd. In that scenario, I think I want to be a little overly cautious in this leg and give myself several outs. It's a 5.5 furlong sprint, so you assume speed is deadly, but if speed has been deadly up to this point, you run the risk of this race artificially melting down because every jockey thinks they have to send or they lose. So I'm 5 deep. My top pick is going to be the 5. Barry also mentioned this one, Cinco Majestic. 5-1. I really kind of like this horse as a top pick, but I literally could have used any of the other 4 I'm using in this leg as well. Yeah, I think what separates the 5 from this field is that it's fast early, but it's definitely got a little bit of rate to him. And I think that might put him in a great position. So I'm using the 5 Cinco Majestic, but I'm also using the 1 Magic Castle, the 3 Mr. Wayside, and the 6 Santa Cruiser with a 7-hour cornerstone. And then Barry and I probably have like awkward glances at each other, depending on who cashes at the end of the day. Barry, how do you feel when we go head to head with like a single like that? Does that make you feel like, do you feel animosity towards me or anything?
Never.
Never.
I wish we could both hit.
That's right. I do too, because I've been craving the stunner shades and all the gold chains. And if I make enough money, I might buy a Baroque shirt and a black cane with a gold handle to go with it.
Please do.
Yeah, absolutely. Barry, let's recap some picks here.
All right, we're going to $1 pick 3, races 3, 4, and 5 at Will Rogers. Race 3, we're going 1, 2, 5, and 7. Race 4, 1, 2, and 6. Race 5, using just the 6 and 7 for $24, and you just go stand in line. You camp out even. Wait.
Yeah, just Black Friday it, or like just like you know, you make your own Krzyzewskiville, if you will. Here we go. Barry and I are head to head in just one race, but we saw this really similar, quite honestly, even though we structured very differently. Race 3, I'm the 5-6. Race 4, straight up single to the 4, Ruby the Destroyer, and then race 5, the 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. I bought myself the luxury of being able to press this a good couple times with that single. So I'm a $30 play for a $3 base in this pick 3. Nice. All right, Barry, what's the plan for us today? What do you got going?
Nothing. Hopefully the weather continues to get warmer in Florida, because it was kind of chilly. Like 70s is it's a little cold, you know? No, you don't know.
No.
But it is. It's a little chilly. We need 80s. So that's what we're striving for this week.
Last night, I started sweating like I was fucking jumping rope in an attic.
And I was like 65 degrees.
No, I was like, it's hot in here. It's burning up. What's the deal? And Cindy looked, she's like, it's 74 degrees.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's rare for you at this time of year, right?
Oh, no. By now, it's like, it's starting to get warm, like mid-April into May. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. All right. That's enough of us being Johnny Dopplers here with the weather. Yeah. Barrington Steele, meteorologist. All right. That's going to do it for us here at the Notorious OTB. Don't you worry your pretty little faces, Junior Mafia. We will be back tomorrow with more Notorious OTB. When we look at our long shots, we're also pivoting. We're going to Indiana Grand. Yeah. I'll never call it Horseshoe Indy. It'll always be the Grand.
Ooh, that's tough.
It's Grand. All right. We'll see you then. We love you. Bye-bye.